Hey, what's going on? Tony Scott here on this Monday, Smooth RV 105.7 in the studio during my Smooth Ride Home radio show that I do Monday through Friday from 2 to 7, most Saturdays from 3 to 8. And hope your Father's Day was great, fellas, and hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. A lot to get into today, and I guess we'll start out with SZA. Remember, SZA said a few weeks ago that her voice was permanently damaged. There was some issue going on, and she said she kept singing past the warnings and injured her voice permanently. But apparently that's not the case, and I'm for one happy for that. I think having your livelihood snatched away like that is horrible, but that's not the case. She posted, "Thank you to the incredible team of doctors and vocal technicians that have taken time to see me over the last few weeks in every city. I'm blessed to say my voice is not permanently damaged, and I've been working daily to get back." So that is fantastic news for SZA. Way to go. Lauryn Hill announced some special guests on her upcoming tour. Depending on the date in the city, she'll have either Dave Chappelle with her, could be Nas, could be SZA, could be Big Boy, De La Soul, could be Busta Rhymes, could be more. It just depends. Lauryn will be here for the 20th anniversary of the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. That tour will be in Dallas on September 30th at Toyota Music Factory. So there's that. What else? Whitney Houston. You know, that documentary, Whitney, that I believe is supposed to come out next month. I read an article today, and they say that she was destroyed since childhood because she was sexually abused allegedly by her cousin, Dee Dee Warwick, the sister of Dionne Warwick. Dee Dee was a big-time singer in the 60s who died about 10 years ago. And the article I read says that while Sissy was away touring, her 4 children would be sent away to stay with various friends or relatives, including Dee Dee Warwick. And Dee Dee is the one who's accused for allegedly abusing Whitney Houston, along with her brother Gary Houston. And it's something that they say in the documentary that Whitney never got over. That was with her entire life. That makes me sad. It really does. In ridiculous news, Beyonce is being accused of having... Wait a minute. Beyonce is being accused of cheating with LeBron James. And the person making the accusation is LeBron's mother's ex-boyfriend, Daryl Lambeau. He says, Daryl Lambeau said he's got a tell-all book coming out that will detail LeBron and Beyonce's affair. And my question right now is why did LeBron's mother, a grown woman, date a guy named Daryl Lambeau? Who does that? Just saying, man. Speaking of cheating, word is over the weekend that T.I. cheated again on Tiny. He was apparently seen canoodling with a woman and smacking her butt. If you're married or in a committed relationship, there really is no reason for you to smack a woman's butt unless her butt is on fire. If her butt's on fire, you're trying to help put it out, well, okay. But other than that, you really don't have any business touching another woman's butt. I'm just saying. If T.I. doesn't want to be married, then he should not be married. I like him and Tiny together. I think they're great together. And they look like they have like a lot of fun. But apparently I'm misreading that whole thing because he just doesn't seem to be happy. He's always saying, you know, marriage holds me back and all this kind of stuff. And he reposted somebody's post about why fellas don't get married and listed all these reasons. Clearly from someone who's A, not a man, and B, never been a married man. I'm a married man. I can tell you now, I enjoy every aspect of being married. Every aspect. That's just me. But we're all different, and I get that. But you can't just, like, put all of us in a box and say, you know, guys don't like to be married, and here's why. That's silly. And I don't know how to say this rapper's name. XXXTentacion, is that how you say his name? Well, he's dead. He's 20 years old, and he was shot dead in Miami today. And witnesses told police a Louis Vuitton bag was taken from his vehicle after he was shot. The shooters are described as 2 black males wearing hoodies, and the shooter was wearing a red mask. Broward County Sheriff's Department confirmed that the rapper was dead at about what was it? It was 2:40 Pacific time, before 4:40 our time. He was pronounced dead. Wow, 20 years old, and it's a wrap. It's done. Finished. He won't see Tuesday. He won't ever record another song. He'll never do anything because he was shot dead. And I imagine it was for no good reason. Just sad. Sad. Very sad. Here in Frisco, north of Dallas, one of the suburbs, there was a fight there at, Stonebriar Mall? That was about nothing. And one young man got his head stomped, and he was in the hospital. He got busted up pretty good. And they arrested 2 guys, and one guy says, yeah, I stomped him on his head, and I don't feel sorry for it. One of the guys arrested was just put on probation like 10 days ago. You know? What makes me sad is that while this is going on, you know, people are standing around recording it on their phone. That's where we are now, right? That's where we are, is recording things on our phone rather than trying to get some help. Rather than trying to stop something. You know, and maybe stopping something isn't the smartest move because you don't know if somebody's going to come out the bag with something like a gun or something. You don't know. So I get that, but go for help, man. Somebody call 911. Somebody do something. This is just bad. It's just, man, I don't know. And, Jada Pinkett Smith was on the, Sway radio show on satellite radio, and she said this about, she was talking about, her and Will's ex-wife Cherie, and Will and Cherie's son Trey, and Jada saw how she loves Trey, how she has to love Trey, and then she dropped this little bit of information.
Understand that if I'm going to love Trey, there's an aspect of Cherie that I have to embrace and have to love as well, consider and respect. And she and Will have their own relationship. You know, she's gone on vacations with Will without me, with Trey. You know what I mean? Because I feel as though Trey needs to feel that dynamic between his 2 parents. That's very important, that he can feel that connection and feel, you know, where they do meet, so that he can feel, you know, that parental connection.
Well, you know what? What's for them is for them, first of all, okay? Second of all, it's not like Trey's a little boy. Trey's an adult. He's a grown man. Does he still need to feel that? I mean, he has to understand the dynamic of his parents are no longer together, and yet they are on friendly terms, but they have to go on vacation for that. You know what? I don't know. Could you do that? Could you let your current go on vacation with his ex or her ex and the child they have together? My first reaction is, no, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could do that. I'm just saying, I don't think that could happen. Not in my world. But you know what? What's for them, like I said, is for them. You know, if Jada's happy with it, she's all right with it, then who are we to criticize, right? It seems kind of, some people on Facebook are saying, well, they have an open marriage. They don't have an open marriage. They don't have an open marriage. Wow. Y'all just start pulling stuff out y'all's ass sometimes, right? So some people, they just, where they got an open marriage. No, they don't have an open marriage. They don't. They don't. And they don't kick it. They don't. They just go and hang out. They're friends. There are people who are great friends with their ex. I am not one of them, but some people are, and that's commendable. That's admirable, in my opinion. You know, unless there was some physical abuse involved, something like that. Well, then no, not so much. But there's that, and then of course, down on the Texas border, what's going on there just breaks my heart, and just what they're doing to those kids is so inhumane, and it goes against every principle that has to do with civility and being humane and the Bible. They quote the Bible, but they just that all up. They did. They you know, you quote parts of it to satisfy your agenda. Well, what kind of Christianity is that? What is that about? Think about this though. If many years ago, when Europeans invaded America, if the Native Americans would have stopped them at the border and taken their kids away from them, how the hell you think they'd have felt about that? They probably wouldn't have liked that very much, right? It's just amazing how people have such, like I said this Friday, you know, politics, it's not about the American people anymore. And I'm not talking about Republicans, I'm not talking about Democrats, I'm talking about politics. It's all about inflicting as much pain as you can on the party that's not in the White House. That's all it's about now. Nobody gives a damn about us. They don't care about us. They never have cared about us. And that goes back a long way. Now, in regards to President Obama and his presidency, I will say that probably doesn't so much apply to him because he didn't have, the Republicans control both houses of Congress during his time in office, so there wasn't a lot he could do anyway. But I just think that it's gotten that ugly, and you have to be motivated to vote. You still have to keep the faith. So I'm just saying. Pancho, how you doing, man? Good to see you, man. Everything good? Hope Father's Day, if you're a dad, was good for you, man. Cedric, everything good, man? You're in steamy D.C.? Well, you know what? It's steamy here, too, although we're supposed to have some rain, I think, tomorrow and maybe Wednesday. So there's that. But I'm doing very good. That street life, Cheryl, man, that is something else, man. As a parent with young adult children, it's like, it is so worrisome. People have no problem showing the ignorance without feeling any shame. And it is sad, Michelle. You're exactly right. That is so very true that people feel that way. So, Roberta says, Will and Cherie. Yeah. Now, you know what? There's nothing going on there. I met Will once, but I can't say I know him. But I don't see nothing there. I just think that they're different. They're cut different cloth. They're not here for all the pettiness that a lot of us have to go through in drama, relationship-wise and all that. They're not. They know where they are. They know where they stand in their relationship. They're very comfortable in it. Jada's not threatened, Will is not threatened. Will knows his priorities, and Will knows what works and what doesn't work for him. And what works for him is being friendly with his ex-wife, not to the point where he wants to sleep with her. But Yvette's like me. Yeah, I couldn't. So Yvette's like, I couldn't do that. Couldn't do that. Cedric's like, nope, couldn't happen. Sapphire is saying that even though I don't know this young person, talking about that rapper that was shot and killed today, one thing she's learned from Biggie Smalls' movie was you're always going to be a deadly target to someone just because you work so hard in pursuing your career and getting rewarded from it. So if you're currently pursuing and or thinking about pursuing a career like musicians, fashion designers, movie actors, actresses, please be careful and always watch your surroundings and don't call everyone your friend, because even your so-called friend would target you. May he rest in peace. Yep. Roberta, sometimes, people find out in relationships that exes find out in relationships that the person that they're married to is a great person, but he or she is not the right person for them. So they split up, but they stay on friendly terms because that person is a great person, just not right for me. Right? And a lot of us have not really been down that road because when you break up with someone, there's so much drama associated with it that you kind of need a break from each other. And I'm pretty sure Will and Cherie had a break from each other when they split up. But then, of course, they co-parented and realized, you know what? They're not such a bad person. They're just not for me. So, you know what, Roberta? Trump is blaming the Democrats, and it's a bold-faced lie, but his base believes him. His base, he's the Pied Piper with that base, man. For every person who was screaming for Trump's head, there are people screaming and praising him like he's the best president of all time. And that's just the truth. There are people who love that man, who think he is doing a fantastic job. So there's that. But Roberta says Cherie had a husband who was a pastor. Yeah, a Fletcher, right? Was it the Fletcher? Pastor Fletcher, I think was his name. Something like that. Yvonne says, Will and Jada, I could not do that with my ass. No one can do it and would not, you couldn't do it. Okay. And you know what? And that's fine because I couldn't do it either. I absolutely couldn't do it either. But it's not for everybody, Not everybody can be friends with their ex. My ex-wife, may she rest in peace, her and I were good probably the last 3 years of her life, right? She had met somebody. He made her happy. They had kids. He's a great guy, and it was very pleasant the last 3 years, but then she unfortunately got sick and passed away. But, yeah. Hey, Tamika, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, but that's the deal. I don't know, if I'm saying his name correctly as far as who died, the rapper went by the name of XXXTentacion. Is that how you say that? I don't know if I'm saying it right or not. I'd heard the name before, but I couldn't tell you the name of his song. No disrespect shade there. That's not my thing. But to be shot and killed at 20 in a car. He was in a car. He got shot and killed. They say a couple of guys did it, and they're looking for them, I imagine, if they haven't got him already. But happened in Miami. A Louis Vuitton bag was removed from the car he was in after he was shot. I think it was by one of the shooters, but I don't know what was in the bag. But that's that. So yeah, that's how that went. There was video on TV a little while ago about this emergency room doctor who she had to see this basketball player apparently had a panic attack and collapsed. They took him to the hospital. And she was very rude to him. She cussed at him. She was very rude. And, even his father said, I don't know if it was racial, because if it wasn't racial, she shouldn't be practicing medicine anyway, because she has no compassion. And that are saying it. Tamika, I'm saying it correctly. Tamika's the expert. She knows me. Tamika is Dr. Jockenstein is a legendary radio announcer who we lost a few years ago, is his daughter, and she is making her own way in the business, doing her own thing, and is getting into radio in St. Louis. So there's that too. So, but thank you. All right. So XXXTentacion. I don't know, Roberta. I don't know what was in that bag. I don't know if it was money, jewelry, weed. I don't know. It could have been, court papers. I don't know. Could have been anything. Clothes. It could have been anything. So, Cedric, happy Father's Day to you too, man. Thank you. You never heard of him, but you came out on the tail end. Okay, that's fair. That's cool. Yeah. No, I've heard the name because it's a very unusual name. Because there's that Tekashi 6ix9ine or something, and then there's this guy. They just had two unusual names in the rap game, at least to me. And XXXTentacion was murdered today in Miami. So that's I don't know. Just when you see someone so young get killed like that for no reason at all, and those kids they were fighting. If you Google like Frisco, Texas Mall or something like that, you'll get to the Stonebriar Mall and you'll get the story. Probably see the video of this one man who was beaten pretty badly, young man. But what are they fighting? They're fighting. Supposedly one of the guys was in the movie theater. He told them to quiet down because he wanted to watch the movie, and apparently that didn't sit well with people. It's like, well, you're not there to hold a conversation or talk on the phone. You're there to watch a movie. I understand where he's coming from. Now, I don't know how he said it. I don't know if he was kind of salty. I don't know. But apparently it carried on after the movie into the mall, and a fight broke out over nothing. Over nothing. Wow. Y'all gonna throw down like that? Y'all gonna throw hands over nothing, and somebody's going to jail. Two people are already in jail, right? One was just supposedly put on parole 10 days ago, or probation 10 days ago, and you think that's gonna get, revoked? Yeah, probably will, and that's too bad. Because and I've always been convinced that there's a lot of young men, because they didn't have somebody in their life to teach them how to deal with anger and confrontation, hurt feelings, sadness, those kinds of things. And the only way they know how to do that is to lash out. They don't know there's another way to handle that. And they have to find out the hard way. And that makes me sad too. Roberta, why didn't you come up and say hello? Or did we say hello? I was hosted a brunch yesterday at Truth Nightclub, Father's Day brunch. That was great. You know what? Juneteenth is a state holiday in Texas. I don't know. I'm working tomorrow, so there's that. But I always read. Even though I'm from Galveston, where the Juneteenth is when the slaves found out in Galveston that they were freed and had been freed for a while. And we learned that before it was even a state holiday in Texas. They used to teach us that every year. But I always read about it, though, about what it's about. And I've done that for years. I just go to Google and type in, Juneteenth and look for an explanation, and I read it. And it's just, it helps me to digest what that is. Can you imagine being a slave and then finding out you've been freed for 3 years or half for, you've been free for, you've been free for a while and you're just finding out because, we didn't have phones and the internet and, two-way pagers. Who remembers those? We didn't have all that back in the day. It's just crazy, man. The world's coming to an end. If all these killings and murders keep going on every day, it's sad. It is sad. It's beyond sad because somebody lost a son, somebody lost a sibling, somebody lost a cousin, maybe an uncle, somebody maybe lost a father. I didn't know anything about the young man, but pretty sure it's for nothing. Roberta says, I saw you on Facebook. You're in Seattle. Oh, okay. Okay. Seattle is a city on my bucket list because I watch, may not know, I love baseball. So I'm always watching baseball. And I love that ballpark in Seattle the Mariners play. They're having a great year, by the way. But I love it. And I want to go to that ballpark one day. So, yeah. Have you been? And is it nice as it looks on TV? It looks very, very good on TV. And I appreciate you watching and hanging out with us from Seattle on Facebook. Very nice. Sandra, how are you? But yeah, so that's let's see over here. Okay, I got a couple minutes. That's pretty much has been the day, All the first ladies have decided that what the president's doing with these children at the border is even Melania is saying, we got to have laws, but we got to do it with heart. That's as far as she's willing to go, and I respect that because, she is married to the president. So, but the fact that she even said that, I think is pretty significant, but that's just me, So, anyway, I got to go. Yvonne, have a great night, too. It's the Seattle around the stadium is exciting. The whole thing, they have a whole, area like that, restaurants and stuff like that. Pretty nice. But, like I said, it's on the bucket list, and maybe my wife and I will go one day and hang out and stuff. If we do, I'm pulling you up on Facebook and looking for you. But thanks for hanging out. Have a great week, great night. If you can share this on your Facebook page, that would mean a lot to me. Follow me on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/thisandthatmedia, all one word. And for everything else on social media, I'm at Tony Scott Media. So there's that. All right. Glad to hear it's an exciting area, Roberta. I got to get out there, man. I really do. You guys have a great night, and talk to you soon.